Sinners, the brand new film directed by Ryan Coogler, the director of Creed, the first Creed, and the two Black Panthers. Now, he is one of those directors that, in the film circles, is a director that we all keep our eye on. Because every movie he does, at worst, because it's safe to assume maybe his worst film is the second Black Panther, is Wakanda Forever. But still, it's good. He's a solid director. So everyone's like keeping an eye on him at what he's going to do next. And we find out that the next film he's going to do next, maybe it's the gap film between Black Panther 2 and 3, you never know. But his film was going to be a vampire film set in the 1930s, set in Mississippi. And your head is like, this is intriguing. I mean, we don't watch it anyway, but this is a really intriguing concept. Vampires in Mississippi, 1930s America. Gotcha. And, Michael B. Jordan was going to be in the movie because, Tim Burton has Johnny Depp, Michael Zazie has Leo DiCaprio and De Niro. Ryan Coogler has Michael B. Jordan. And, it's a collaboration that works. So, it ain't break, don't fix it, right? But the reviews were coming in and the trailers were coming out, and you just and you're hearing such great stuff, and your head's thinking, okay, guys, let's not say, let's just make sure that this movie is actually as great as everyone says it is. Because sometimes there's this thing called overhype and thinking that it's the greatest film since sliced bread. So let's hold on the bus, right? Let's hold on the teeth, may say. But I just came back from seeing the movie, and what I would say here is this movie is fantastic. This is a fantastic movie. This is a movie that is only enough, even though it has vampires in it, and they are the main obstacle. They are the main foil for our main characters. They're not really, it's not about them. I mean, they don't show up, technically, for the first, 40 minutes? Maybe 50? Yeah, I'll say about maybe 45. I'm not sure. Maybe let's say 40 minutes. Right? They don't show up for the first 30 minutes of the film. Right? Outside the typical illustrations to explain our version of why these vampires are different than all the other vampires in cinematic history. I'm like, guys, they're vampires. Sunlight, garlic, holy water, don't like silver. They're vampires. I think I have an idea what vampires are. Sometimes their hands are a little bit more stretchy. They're vampires. Okay? Like blood, they're vampires. Okay? I get the sense of it. But 40 minutes before we see actual one, right? And you kind of forget that oh right, this is a vampire movie, because technically the movie isn't about vampires. The movie is about music. It's about how music reacts us and how it can change us and how music can travel through different generations. Because there's a sequence where characters are dancing, and then 1930, the people in the 1930s, because once again this movie set in the 1930s, but all suddenly you see a native tribe, or all suddenly you see a record player, or suddenly you see a teen, a 20-year-old twerking, to show the lineage of the travel of time that music has, and the specialness of music. And it essentially it's a whole love letter to the blues. The reason the vampires want to murder these people, or mainly our one person, mainly our main character, Sammy, he's he wants they want his talent because they hear his music playing and they're like, can I bite you? Can I kill you? Can I turn you into a vampire just so I can have all that knowledge, all that talent? Can we? Can I? Can we? No, damn it. Better, well, guess I have to kill you. Like, it's all, that's the sense of it, right? That's what it is. It's all about the love of music. And so, the point that when the vampires show up, that's a little tip of the crop. It's a little bit of a, sprinkle. And it's more of a horror thriller. Because everyone puts horror in everything if it's dealing with the supernatural. So, it's horror thriller, right? There's an action sequence at the end, but it's heavy on the tension when they show up. When the vampires show up, there's a level of tension. Like you don't see them biting necks in this movie much. You would think so, right? You would like to see some teeth in neck, right? But most of it's kind of interesting. It's kind of knowing that Ryan Coogler knows that it's more terrifying to what you don't see versus what you do see. And sometimes the fear of the unknown is even terrifying than knowing. And that's essentially what this movie, that's what essentially what, anytime they're about to do something, it gets cut away. And that's what it is. And we know what's going to happen. We know, okay, this person's going to turn. This person's gone, this person's dead. It's not that big of a twist. It's not the higher belief. So, take that as your wish. But, yeah, this movie is just really, really, really good. I mean, the only criticism I have with this movie is because Michael B. Jordan is playing two characters. He's playing a twin brothers who are gangsters, and so they're kind of like the catalyst characters. It's like, what if characters were the catalyst, right? That sets the whole plot forward. And because haven't talked about the plot yet, but essentially what the plot is, you got Smoke and Stack, who are Michael B. Jordan's characters, and they are assembling a group of people to open up essentially a nightclub, but basically a shack that they're planning to turn into a club, and it's opening night, and Sammy's one of those characters. Sammy's one of those characters. He's designed to be the music person, but also just have fun because he's the cousin of Smoke and Shack. But once again, they hear Sammy's music, and suddenly, the vampires want to kill Sammy just because they want his talent. And it works as well. Like, even like, I don't know, stupid romance stuff. Like you got Haley Steinfeld's character, Mary, and she plays a character in the beginning. It's not it's a spoiler alert. It's not much of a spoiler because it's in the trailers. She turns into a vampire. So before that, her playing a kind of like a modern version, like a very modernized version of the, like, we are meant to be together. Why can't you believe, I love you so much, Stack. Why can't you believe that why can't you believe that, the love is there is true? And then when she gets bitten, suddenly there's suddenly the confidence of these vampires are off the roof. And it makes sense. Like, if you're able to realize you're able to live forever, it's just you have to not be in the sun. There's a sense of vulnerability. You can live forever. And so there's a sense of confidence. There's a sense of cockiness there, or a sense of sexiness and flirtatiousness and that she that that these vampires have, and there's no spoiler alert here that there's a little bit of sex in this movie, and the moment the sex scene happens, you're like, yeah, I can buy this happening because of the confidence that the vampires have and the confidence that Harry Sefo brings to Mary when she gets bitten in turn. You're like, it's a flick of a switch where Alice knowing, and it's really seamless. I mean, she's an Academy Award winning actress. Yes, when she was 13, but let's not call spades a spades. I mean, she's that fucking good. So this, as I said, the only criticism I have with the movie is because Michael B. Jordan is playing twins. Sometimes it was a little bit hard to realize. Wait, is he smoked now? Is he Stack? Like, what's happening? Who is these characters? Who is he? And yeah, you're like, and sometimes they try and do a color thing. They try and do the whole blues for Smoke and red is for Stack, and it's that was meant to be our telling of who was who, and it just felt wasn't enough. I don't want to say you need a star across someone's face, but I think you kind of need a star across someone's face. But to realize, because sometimes a character would talk to, one of the two would talk to another person, and they would reference something. I thought they were in. What's going on here? Big confused. But yeah, I mean, this movie is really well put together. And here's the thing: if you're not fans of jump scares, it's not many. Best way to describe it is kind of like, there's a couple, but it's more on the lines of how, I don't say sensitive sensitive is not probably the right word, but how easy you can be jump scared, and how are you with jump scares. Like, this is more of a, as I say, a thriller than a horror. It's kind of like, there's jump scares in the original Mummy. Not the original Mummy, but like the first Brendan Fraser Mummy. How there's a couple of jump scares. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like, flashes. Someone opens, there's a snake. And then the moment the vampires come along, it's like, there's the creepy, the scary, the big action sequence that happens in the third act is really well put together, and you can see how powerful these threats are than just seeing blood dripping off their face. And all these supporting characters, there's also a sense of the reaction to other characters getting bitten, and how anger and jealousy, not anger but envy, and the mix of fear and stare make us do crazy irrational things. It's a whole mother feel of this. It's a wonderful, it's a tick on my on the box. I mean, this movie costs $90 million, and it's tracking to make tracking to make $40 million. It's probably going to make like 85 to 90. Hopefully, it makes it to production budget this weekend. But it's Easter, so there's a couple of days, so you never know. But yeah, I would totally recommend this film. Totally. Even if maybe, vampires and supernatural are not your thing, I would give it a go. This might be the exception. You got a lot of people who say, I don't like rom-coms, but they like this one, this one, and this one, you know what I mean? Or, I don't like, musicals, but they're like this one, this one, this one. You know, yeah, if you know what I mean. So it's a whole thing. Anyway, I'm babbling along. Comment below if you've seen the movie. Let me know your thoughts.